Yo, what is going on, guys? We're back with another Legends video, and in this one, man, we're gonna be reviewing my top 10 Zenkai wish list for 2023, man. So there are a lot of characters who, some of these guys in this list, I thought they would have gotten a Zenkai a while ago, right? But it's just not their time yet. And as we all know, eventually everyone is going to get a Zenkai, right? I don't know about hero units, right? It obviously makes no sense to Zenkai them. Plus, how are you actually gonna get us to get theirs? I mean, they could be very creative with that. We know Legends, they love making us go through lengths just to get something done, right? So I actually don't even want to know about that. I just don't see a point in Zenkaiing a hero unit unless it's Charlotte, right? I think Charlotte's actually probably the only hero, one of the only hero units that can keep up with the meta, because obviously they release stuff like Blue Hercule, but let's not talk about it. Anyways, this will consist of EX's Sparkings, and there's 2 Legends Limited characters in here, so you guys will go on to see who those guys are. And with that being said, let me know what you guys think, and let me know your list, right? Let me know who you guys want to see Zenkai this year, because I know you guys have some characters that you guys are anticipating as well. So with that being said, if you guys do happen to enjoy, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new, man. We are on the road to 800 subs. All the support is really appreciated. Make that subscribe button gray if it's red right now, man, and join the family, bro. But yeah, pretty much let's start off with our top 10. All right, number 10, we have Green Transforming Goku Black. Now, we all know how dominant this guy was on release, right? This guy was just insane, man. He was just going on with long combos. His blue card hit like crazy, and it was just insane, man. And his main ability just gave back all his cards. He basically had unlimited ki as well, right? He was always restoring ki every other time account. I know there's a couple characters that have that ability. Kid Buu to mention, right? He gets like ki back every I think 4 time accounts, right? But yeah, this guy was definitely a meta stomper, right? And he came out, I believe, 2020, right? October, right? I remember they even had a whole hint for him, and he came out with the Great Saiyaman 1 and 2, who obviously got their Zenkai, but obviously they're like, their levels were like not even on the same scale, right? So obviously it made sense to Zenkai those guys first, but I think this guy probably has a good chance of getting a Zenkai, and we probably could see an Ultra Rose as well this year, right? But that's obviously not the point of this video. Is to see this guy get a Zenkai. It would be really cool. Yeah, I mean, there's really pretty much nothing else to say. I mean, if he does get a Zenkai, I feel like he'll be good regardless, right? Because I think with just a stat increase, he'll just be dominant, right? Obviously, they'll probably do the Vegito Blue Sapphire Protector of the Future type, right? And just give him nothing on the on the last 2 unique abilities, right? But like I said, I think the stat change is just enough to make him just a little bit viable again, right? But yeah, pretty much my number 10 wanted Zenkai unit for this year. Let's move on to the next one. All right, and at number 8, or are we on 8? No, we're on 9. At number 9, we have Green Kefla, right? Green Kefla, man, she was another unit who was just dominant in her time. She came out right before LF Vegito Blue, right before Fusion Warriors took the meta by storm. She obviously released with that green, the red Gotenks, right? The transforming one, who was actually also pretty good in his time. But Kefla, I feel like you can still do decent with her, right? Because she does ramp up with her strike damage, and there was something interesting in her kit, right? Yeah, basically, yeah, you got 25% to strike damage inflicted for 10 time accounts, right? And that was a permanent stack. Obviously, 10 time accounts is not that long, but it is something, right? And then her ult was also able to feint, man. I remember just praying that feint would hit, because if you did, you just start her combo again. Not to mention she had unlimited card draw speed, which just level 1 card draw speed was just OP back in the day. I feel like it's okay now, but just back in the day, it just used to be the worst thing ever, right? And this character would just go on and on and on for combos. She would change strikes or blast into strikes, so she would just be a powerhouse, right? The only thing she doesn't have that she is gonna need on her Zenkai Awakening is cover change, right? Obviously, cover change was that big of a thing back in the day, right? I feel like Bojack was probably like one of the best cover changes in the game, because he had the universal thing. Actually, it wasn't even universal, but actually no, it was. He could cover change everything, but you would have to sacrifice some your allies HP, which, I mean, it didn't really matter, bro. The guy was just so annoying, and it's unlimited too, which is why if he ever gets a Zenkai, but we're not talking about him. We're talking about Kefla. So yeah, one thing she will need is a cover change for sure, because of how crazy she just goes with the combos, right? And we have a lot of cover changes, right? So yeah, but I mean, I would like to see her get a Zenkai for sure. I remember I just went crazy on her banner because it was the first Kefla in the game, and I remember we all thought that Goku Day was going to be UI Omen Goku, right? But obviously we had to wait all the way until November of that year in order to finally get UI Goku in the game, right? It was crazy. But yeah, this is my number 9 pick. Let's move on to number 8. At number 8, man, we have EX Whis. Now, this guy was just insane when he first came out. Obviously, him holding a green card was just insane. The optimal setup was him, and then the blue boys, right? It was just crazy. You had Goku just unlimited healing and all that, right, with his green card, and then Vegeta's counter, who I mean, I wasn't really a big fan of. I don't even think I pulled Vegeta during the anniversary, right? I only pulled Goku, so I was running the Whis and Goku together, and I don't remember who that last unit was, but I remember those two were just enough, right? Because again, Goku would just infinitely heal with those blue or the green cards, right, that Whis would provide. His support was actually pretty amazing. He would restore his you would like shuffle out the cards with his green card, which was a pretty unique thing back in the day, right? There was not really units that made you switch your hand, right? I think he was probably one of the first, if I'm not mistaken, right? But yeah, he was really cool to use at first, man. And him being an EX and being that good, it was really promising, right? Because we thought if they ever dropped the sparking Whis, how OP he'd be, right? I mean, the purple Whis is pretty good even still, right? He has the shuffle hand, or like the obscure thing, and he nullifies coverage, and he's pretty good, right? The sparking Whis, right? It's safe to say that Whis characters are going to be pretty good in this game, so it would be pretty cool again to see this guy get a Zenkai finally, bro. And yeah, I think he's probably that red that God Key mains are actually itching for. That, you know, if he ever does get a Zenkai, hopefully he'll be pretty good, right? Because he is an EX, so who knows how he'll keep up in today's meta? Who knows, you know, if he'll take a kick to the face by Beast Gohan, right? Obviously he probably won't, but you never know, right? So pretty much, yeah, this is my number 8 pick, right? Let's move on to number 7. At number 7, man, we have the yellow transforming Vegito. Now, it's crazy because this guy came out before I pulled Super Vegito, right? Obviously, Super Vegito was already out, the LF one I'm talking about, right? So I pulled this guy before LF Super Vegito, so this guy was my first Vegito, right? Obviously, not counting the free-to-play one. He was my first summonable Vegito that I got, so I was just like, really, really excited to use him, and he was pretty good at his time. He had that green card, literally just like the Ultra Super Vegito, right? Like that knockback green card. And it was just, he was pretty cool, bro. His blue card was pretty cool. He was one of those units that just reduced his cost with every card he used, so his blue card became really cheap at a certain time, and it would just nuke people, right? And it was really cool. And his animations is actually still pretty cool to this day. His transformation animation, his blue card, the slice and dice, right? And again, his green card, the pushback force thingy, you know what I'm talking about, right? This guy was pretty good, man. I actually loved using him. I forgot, yeah, actually that was my setup, right? It was this guy, Kefla, and then I don't even remember my third guy. I would have to look at a video or something, but I definitely had a third Fusion Warrior there, and that was just my Fusion Warrior setup, right? And you know, I used to go crazy in PvP with that setup, man. It used to be so much fun. And then eventually when Vegito Blue came out, that was just my perfect trio right there, until obviously they fell off, right? But yeah, I would love to see this guy get a Zenkai. I'm not really expecting it, not gonna lie, but I had to throw him on this list just because I remember how hype I was to use him and how cool it was, right? Actually, I think one of my favorite setups was double transforming fusion, right? The blue transforming Gogeta, right, from DBS, and then DBS Broly, and then obviously this guy, right? And then probably Kefla. I think that was my trio, but I mean, I don't really remember because I don't even know if Gogeta was good by the time this guy came out. But again, I would have to look at some videos because I believe that is actually when I started making content, right around this guy's release. So, you know, I probably could go back and take a look. But yeah, this is my number 7 pick. Let's move on to number 6. Okay, at number 6, man, we have Yellow Hit. Now, this guy is probably somebody you weren't expecting on my list, but I would actually really love to see this guy's Zenkai. He was really fun to use when he first came out. I unfortunately never pulled him until like later on, right, a few months later, and I remember how excited I was to finally use him because he just got crazy over battle. He reminds me of Ultra Gogeta, right? Or Ultra Gogeta reminds me of him, right? Because Ultra Gogeta came out later, right? The Ultra Gogeta Blue, by the way, where towards the end of the battle, he just gets cracked out, right? He gets draw speed, he gets crit chance, he gets damage. He just goes crazy by the end of the battle. I just remember how stupid he used to go, right? And again, this was a time where cover change wasn't really that common, so you would just continue on comboing, just on combos, not to mention his green card counter, right? It could counter taps, it could counter like tackles, I think strikes, blast. I think it could counter all that stuff except for like a blue card, right? And it was actually pretty insane. His ult was pretty cool, right? The little time cage thingy, whatever it's called, right? It's a time skip Molotov, right? Yeah, the Xenoverse move, right? It was pretty cool, but yeah, it would definitely be dope to see this guy get Zenkai, especially considering the Kaioken Blue Goku that he came out with, right? The Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. He did get a Zenkai obviously during Legends Festival, right? So maybe this guy's right around the corner, again, considering they released around the same time. But this is my number 6 pick. Let's move on to number 5. At number 5, we have the purple Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta from the future, right? This guy came out right after the second year anniversary, right? He came out with that, obviously, the red Super Saiyan Blue Goku. This was actually a pretty good banner, right? You had double Super Saiyan Blue boys. Not gonna lie, like thinking about it, bro, during those times, like that was a pretty, it was a pretty hype banner, right? You had both the Blue Boys from the future arc. That was a pretty good time, right? And this guy was actually pretty good, and he considered, like, he's debatably still runnable today. I remember he made his comeback when Mono Purple came out. I would run obviously the optimal setup, which would be him, Super Vegito, and then the Blue Boys, right? That was actually like the perfect synergized Mono Purple team, but other people would just extra Zenkai buff the Blue Boys and put somebody else there. But I always appreciated this guy because his support, right? Obviously it doesn't even go to say, you guys know about this guy, right? The reduced sub count, the blue card draw, the disruption on death, right? He obviously takes away enemy Dragon Ball, so you would just sack this guy whenever the time came. He was really good in his time, and he's still decently actually viable to this time. Maybe I'm coping, but I'd say he's still pretty like decent, right? Maybe only on a Mono Purple team, but with this guy Zenkai, man, he'd be pretty good. But the only thing is that, you know, I don't know, he is purple, right? So there are a lot of purple Zenkais for the future saga, right? We have purple Mirzamasu, purple Rose. I mean, obviously this guy could easily just dethrone them, but like, it's just, you know, I'd rather wait a little bit, just let them die out, because there's no way Rose is gonna last throughout the year, right? He'll fall off. I mean, he didn't get his plat yet though, so we actually can't say that with like 100% confidence, right? Because once he gets that plat, that could actually just take him over the edge, right? And just make him even better than he is right now, right? But yeah, I would definitely still love to see this guy get his Zenkai. And if he's purple Gaki, right, you could just, hey, Mono Purple right there. And, you know, now that we have purple Gogeta, who's probably replaced the Blue Boys until they make a comeback, right, with an inevitable Zenkai or a plat, then, you know, it's safe to say this guy would just take over that spot and make Mono Purple great once again. But yeah, this is my number 5 pick. Let's move on to number 4. At number 4, man, we have the Halo Vegeta. Now, this guy, oh my god, we just all know how annoying he was, man. He had the type neutrality on main ability. He had the you know, he had new cards on green card, right? He would just draw 4 new cards, right? He was pretty annoying to deal with. But obviously him and Angel, was it Angel Super Saiyan 3 Goku? Or no, the normal Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the LF one, right? The green one, who got a Zenkai right around the time that he came out, right? Obviously we all know how you know, dangerous of a duo they were, right? Because they would just go hand in hand. Vegeta giving the key, giving the extra support to his allies, just made that Super Saiyan 3 Goku just cracked out during that time. This guy was definitely pretty cool to use. I remember the first time I pulled him, I was actually really excited. He was one of the first units that I actually invested Z power into. That's how good he was. That's how meta impacting he was. He was really good, man. And I remember just, you know, the nostalgia of him, right? I guess nostalgia really holds the reason why I wanted to get a Zenkai more than anything, right? Because I just remember he was really actually, like, every Z power I would get, I would just invest to this guy. And so eventually we got him 14 stars. And yeah, it goes to, you know, we all agree that this guy had a pretty good run during his time, right? Who did he come out with again? I actually don't even remember. LFK Boo, right? He was the 1%, right? If I'm not mistaken, I believe he was the 1%, and then Super Saiyan 3 Goku had gotten a Zenkai the next month, right? So yeah, pretty much this is my list, or this is my number 4 unit. I do want a Super Saiyan version of this guy, right? I seen some people actually talking about a tag Super Saiyan 3 and then Super Saiyan 2 Angel Vegeta. That would be hype as hell, right? And then the LF obviously being the Super Spirit Bomb. I mean, they could always recreate it. Not to say that the LF Super Saiyan 3s is not even good anymore, because it actually still is. But it would be cool to just, see it in another way, right? Having Vegeta there or something, right? Maybe they make a what if, right? And Vegeta just like sends an attack or something during the LF. Who knows, right? But yeah, this is my number 4 pick. Let's move on to the final top 3. Let's get into the top 3. All right, man. Coming in with the top 3, man. At number 3, we have the first ever Ultra unit, man. Now, funny story with this guy. When they first revealed that they were introducing a new rarity, it was almost April, right? So I'm thinking maybe they're trolling us because obviously every year they like to do a little something for April Fools. But why would they do it to that extent where they're telling us that a new rarity is coming, right? Just to not introduce it, right? Just as a little joke, right? But I didn't really truly believe it until he actually dropped, right? And then I remember that was actually the first time the channel actually took off. So this guy does actually have a very, very special place in my heart, because I remember I did the little guide to how to beat that co-op, right? Because it was really annoying. You had to use the Z Metal Shop Goku, and it was just really annoying to get through, right? So yeah, this was probably the first leap that my channel took. So again, this guy does have a special place in my heart, but I do think they should introduce Ultra Zenkais, because it's not like Zenkais are exclusive to a rarity, right? We've seen EXs get a Zenkai, obviously Legends Limited get a Zenkai. I mean, Legends Limited is not a rarity. They're just, higher sparking value, I guess, whatever you want to call it. But obviously we know Zenkais are not exclusive to a rarity, so it would be cool to obviously kick off the very first Zenkai with the very first Ultra, right? Or no, not the very first Ultra, the very first Ultra Zenkai with the very first Ultra to release, right? So, and obviously this guy's free to play, so we would all be able to access it and have fun with him once again, because when this guy actually dropped, it was a really fun time. It was a really cool time. But one thing, man, yes, his intro has him going into Super Saiyan, but I still want a proper transforming Super Saiyan Goku, right? Not the Namek Goku that we have, the countering one, the first time one, because obviously that moment is from when he goes back to base, he's getting ready to leave, and then Frieza doesn't let him, and then he goes back into Super Saiyan, right? But we need this moment right here, where he has that blue shirt still on, he's fighting as base form during battle, and then mid game transforms into a Super Saiyan. I mean, I don't know if we'll ever get that, considering we have this masterpiece, but again, it would be really cool to get it in game transforming Super Saiyan Goku, right? That would still be really cool, because I don't want it just exclusive to just an intro, right? I want to play as base form Goku and then transform into Super Saiyan Goku. But again, who knows if they'll ever do that. It will be pretty cool to see this guy get a Zenkai, though, not gonna lie. But yeah, pretty much he's number 3. Let's move on to number 2. At number 2, man, we have LF Omen Goku, right? One of the only LF units to not have a unique, right? A unique equipment catered to just him specifically, and not also have a Zenkai in the 2 years that he's been out, right? I don't think any other Legends Limited has been out for nearly as long and has not gotten a unique or a Zenkai Awakening, right? We literally got Jiren and Bardock, right? I received a phone call, which is why the clip cut off. But we got Jiren and Bardock this year, and they got a unique equip the same year, right? Whereas this guy and the number 1 unit, who you guys could probably have a good idea of, hasn't even got one, right? So yeah, it's stupid. Hopefully this year is his year, man. And yeah, hopefully we see a Zenkai from him. I remember when the anniversary obviously revealed MUI, I actually thought this guy would have a good chance of getting a Zenkai, right? Just so you could run them together. It made sense, but obviously Vegito Blue guy has Zenkai, which, I mean, it made sense, but yeah, it's just, again, it's just dumb. But let's move on to the number 1 unit. At number 1, man, we have the Beast Gohan. Obviously I'm joking. Who wouldn't think that this guy was number 1, right? Obviously this guy is number 1 on the list, man. He needs both the he needs both the Zenkai and the unique equip at the same time. I do not care. Give him both at the same time, make him great again, because Lord knows that one is not going to make him good enough, right? I mean, maybe a Zenkai, but definitely not a unique equip, right? I mean, they can make it cracked out, though. I feel like maybe a unique equip would be enough, because he is still decent, bro. You land that green card, and he's still going to, it don't matter what unit you are, he lands that green card on you, you're done, bro. you're done. But I mean, I think he needs both the Zenkai and the unique equip. Again, this guy has been out for over 2 years now, right? Obviously, he came out December of 2020, right? We're in January of 2023 without no unique equip, without a Zenkai, right? They've given him all these plats that are catered to his what he is, right? Like yellow Gaki, yellow fusion, yellow whatever, right? But none of them say his name on it. None of them have his icon on it. None of them have his DBL. What is it? DBL 30 -01S, right? We need that. We need a Zenkai for him. This year better not go by. We better not hit December 2023, this guy being 3 years old and him not receiving anything, right? We obviously got that equip a few days ago, who, you know, it's obviously not a unique equip for him. It has to have his name, it has to have his DBL code and his little icon. That's what it needs in order for it to be a unique equip for Legends Limited Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Gogeta. And please, I hope they do justice, bro. But we have reached the end of the video, man. This is a pretty long one. Again, number 10, we have Green Rose. Number 9, we have Green Kefla. Number 8, we have EX Red Whis. Number 7, we have Yellow Transforming Vegito. Number 6, we have Yellow Hit. Number 5, we have Purple Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta from the Future Saga. 4, we have Angel Vegeta, and actually for 4 I forgot to mention, but I wouldn't mind the Feet Coup also got a Zenkai, but obviously I can only put 1 unit for that slot. But you can interchange them, right? Either the Feet Coup, the support Feet Coup, right, the blue one, or the Angel Halo Vegeta, right? I actually forgot to mention it. But number 3, we have Ultra Super Saiyan Goku. Number 2, we have LFUI Omen, and number 1, we have your boy LF Gogeta Blue, right? We had LF Beast Gohan, but you know, I'm just putting LF Gogeta just, you know, so it's a little cover up. But again, with that being said, if you guys do happen to enjoy me, guys, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, man, and hopefully, you know, actually let me know your list down below. I actually forgot to, you know, say it once more. And yeah, pretty much this is the end of the video. I'll see you all in the next one.